guys, Dave in Texas here, and what you're looking at is a very new and very nice Fender Strat, okay? It is made in Mexico. Let's check that out real quick. Yeah, made in Mexico. Nice guitar. Beautiful too, guys, beautiful. Great finish on it. It's got that new type baked wood on it for the, instead of rosewood. It's got Floyd rose on it. Not a cheap one either. Now, the guy who bought this guitar came to my shop and told me a horror story. The same people that sold him this guitar, we're going to set it up for him and put this new pickup in for him that he wanted. Okay, very special pickup other than this common one he had. And they proceeded to absolutely rape and screw this guitar up to no end. Now, look, I'm trying to remember all the stuff he told me. It's just unbelievable what they've done to this guitar. It sounds like they did it out of spite. Okay? First of all, it won't play. The Floyd Rose is so low, it won't play whatsoever. Okay? It actually touches the pickups. And I don't know how they took them to play it that way. And there's no relief on the neck. There's no action on the neck. This just touches everything. I was like, damn. Excuse me. But beyond that, he goes to the people and they call him, tell him it's ready. It's not ready. This happens 2 or 3 times. He goes over there and says finally, hey, I want my guitar. You said it was ready. Give it to me. And here's the guy in the back trying to screw things into it, right? And the guy brings it back out from the back of the place, and he looks at it and goes, those aren't the right screws for that. They don't go all the way down into the wood. They don't go all the way down and tighten down the pick guard. What the hell's going on? And he looks at the back of it, same thing. They're putting the wrong size screws in it. So like, where did they go? Now, that's the first problem I created that really made this guy mad after dicking him around for like 2 weeks. Alright, next. Let me show you this. I have to take these strings off to show you. Anyway, next is really a pisser. Okay, I mean, unbelievable what they did. I gotta get this damn out of here. Okay, next thing they did, if you look at this, I'm gonna zoom in on this. You gotta see this. Hold on, guys, while I adjust this. If you'll look, this is what they did to his pickup. His new one that was special. They ripped the cloth tape off of it, exposed the copper, and now it doesn't work at all. So they probably busted the, well, now they busted the wiring to it. So he finally goes away with it, takes it home and cools down, then goes back. Well, first of all, he contacted me and told him, first things first, try to get them to work something out for you. At least, get a discount or get your money back or something. Work out something with the manager because you're going to pay me for something they should do, under, warranty on this thing. And finally he did. He says, I don't want them working on it ever again. I want you to work on it. I want you to replace this. So they gave him a new pickup, gave him some store credit for the money he spent to get it set up and done right and this be put in wrong. Okay, well then, he takes it home and looky here. He tries to wire it himself. And now nothing on it works. So it's like, what the heck? Okay. So what I gotta do is come in here, remove this old pickup. Sorry guys, let's back it up some. I gotta come in here, get rid of this old pickup, put the replacement one in, wire it up so it's working again, and get that squared away, right? Then adjust this Floyd Rose properly. Sorry, still can't see it. But then I'll adjust this Floyd Rose properly, right? Then insulate the thing, get it tuned up and set up properly, put the correct screws in it, and put a new pick guard on that he wants, a new color. Okay, he doesn't want that black and ring, he wants a white mother of pearl look to it, which I think is even prettier, I'll be honest with you. But anyway, we're going to get this set up for him, and first things first, get some of the get some slack in this thing. Get these pickups off the pick guard, because we don't be using that no more. And going to take a look on the inside of it, see how bad it is. So hang in there, guys. One thing I wanted to mention, it's got sharp frets too. God, you know, I tried to tell them take it back, you know, but the top of these are sharp. They'll end up cutting, and I think it's because of this wood. This guitar may have sat in a warehouse for a year or so. I'm not really sure. It says a new model, 2018. But this sat in there for 9 months in a hot warehouse. That's why this wood is dried up on it. And I've really got to do some research first about using linseed oil on this. I don't want to put anything on there that may create a problem with that type of wood, but supposedly for any unfinished wood, it's the perfect choice. Of course, I'll never put lemon oil on it, but I will research that first, find what kind of wood that is, and look it up, see if, you know, linseed oil, you know, stains it, off colors it, bleaches, whatever, before I put it on there, just to be safe. Okay. Okay. Somewhere down the line, someone thought it'd be clever, except for Floyd Rose, by doing that old teepee thing with the springs. Okay. Now I want to make sure people know that you don't do this. Okay. You don't take your springs from the outside and run them to here, and one in the middle. Alright, the one in the middle is absolutely useless. There's no tension on it from the other two springs. Unless you have something like very special springs, like the outside ones are looser than the one in the middle, or something weird like that, which I kind of really doubt. Okay, that you have something like that. So then we'll take the Floyd Rose out, get it out of the way, go in there and take a look and see what kind of mess this wiring is in, and go from there. Something's wrong here. This is wired badly. Something's really wrong. Okay, now when you have something like this, guys, the thing to do is stop what you're doing, get the schematics out for it, start looking at it, see that's normally wired up, and go from there. Okie dokie, and figure out what the heck exactly is going on. One thing that's kind of a glaring weirdo thing is that I'm pretty sure this is the ground wire. It's gone to the back of this potentiometer, as well as 1,000 other wires go to it. But if you can see this, guys, no, you can't. That's where you have it grounded right there. That's grounded to the body in a piece of metal. That I've rarely seen. Now, let me think a minute. That probably works. You know, we'll find out if it hums and has any distortion later. But normally you do this to the bridge. You know, you ground to the Floyd Rose. But we'll see. With one of the wiring harness to it, you know, the spring harness to it, you wire close to one of those, and it's no big deal. You just go right through here underneath the pick guard and go right to the spring to the Floyd Rose and blah blah blah. Okie dokie. And leave enough to slack so it doesn't pull it loose. That's just really different. Huh. Okie doke. Well, I am going to need the diagrams, and I can see where they burnt a lot of wires in here and probably burnt a few of these through. That looks like that's a possible short. I don't know what the hell they've done here with a piece of tape. Kind of looped it in and said, what the heck. But this sure is different from any other Strat I've seen wired up. Odd, really odd. Okay guys, we've got the pick guard off. I'm going to disassemble this and replace this pick guard with this, see where is it? With this really pretty one here. Take a look at that. That's beautiful. Right? Got a mother of pearl look. Okay. So we get this off of here. The main thing is that the switch is broken on this. I don't know if they noticed that or not, but it sure am broken, which is not ever good. Okay. Yeah, it's a super 5-way switch, and just to switch between the pickups, you know, do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is kind of overkill. It's really meant to have, you know, push pull, you know, split coil, that kind of thing, which that's not what he's, you know, got set up here. So I don't know what they were thinking of. Of course, I explained to him, excuse me, it could be that every one of these came like this with this super 5-way. I'll show it to you here in a minute. So it's just easier to do that rather than, you know, switch them around. Okie dokie. So let's get this out of here. And we don't do more damage to it that's already been done. But one of the legs on it, I don't know if you can see it or not. Hold on. Flip it around here somehow. There we go. One of the legs on it is just broken off and just flopping in the breeze. And that's one that the contact wire for the pickup is attached to. So there's no way on earth it's going to work. And rather than try to piecemeal that back in there, I just went and got a new switch. Here it is right here. And it's a nice Fender 5-way. Alright? Simple, simple, simple. Keep it simple, stupid. The old kid's principle. You don't need something complicated, don't get it. Stay with the easy to work with. Alrighty? So, let's zoom in there. As I showed you before, we're going to replace this pickup here because they've ruined it. They actually tore it to bits. And once they get it out, I'll show you a little more about it. Be more obvious what's going on with it. You see the coils through the wax tape, cloth tape. That's been ripped off, exposed, and the wires have been broken, so that's a useless pickup. Alright, I don't know if you can see it too well, it's really tiny, but if you look in there real closely, you'll see that that's moving, okay? One of the legs is broken off through the actually part. See, it looks like this. It looks like a rectangle with a hole in the middle, right? Well, that leg right there, that part of the leg, has broken off. It's just free, so it's hanging on one leg piece, which I don't know how that happened, but rather than try to go in there and fix it, it's best just to replace it, you know? There's no telling how long it lasts. It may last, you know, hell, it may last forever, it may not last at all. But it am's really broken. Yep, there it goes. Well, let's put it this way, it won't last at all because it just fell apart in my hands. Shit. So it was on its way out. See this, guys? Sorry. The whole piece just came off in my hand. Something hit it, or whacked it, or something. And that little part there just went to pieces. So it should be all little, you know, connectors right there, and it's missing one now. Okay, so the way you adjust the height of these is a squeeze you put on that rubber spacer, right? Now, now I've got these pretty much protected, these pickups. What I need to do is go ahead and do the attachments back on these and get these off the hole, get them out of the hole. Because I don't want to do anything like scratch anything because they're out bouncing around. But so far I made sure to keep these in the hole where they belong and not out touching anything where they don't belong. Now, there's my two tones, and there is my other, and they're not going to fit. So I gotta get my little taper out and open that up and get just a little bit of space. I'll do that from the inside, not the outside, so I'm doing chipping and marring and scratching. Okay. Alrighty, so now we got everything pretty much attached to the new pickup, and I'd like to get some more ground wire gap there. I may have to just take that little screw up job they did and add some to that, get some space. But anyway, now at least we're on the in the hole and not touching any part of the finish of the guitar, which is not going to scratch it. because there's no sharp parts, and they're not heavy, they're not abrasive. And by taking the little taper out, all they had to do is just get the tape out of the way. This tape. Okay. I never knew what the big deal was about putting these on here. And it acts like it's, you know, really tough to do, and it's really not. It's pretty simple. You just push that spring up, and this got it right up. No big deal. Okay. The mystery of the missing spring has been solved. Yay. Camera. There you go. Unbelievable. It popped off when I tried to put the first one on right here. And I spent the last 30 minutes trying to find it, right? I got up, pushed everything away, got underneath the table, looked around, walked around all my junk, moved stuff around so in case it rolled under it or beside it. And guess what? There it was, stuck to my walking thing, the metal part of walking things. Okay, I'm carrying it around with me, didn't realize it. Of course, the thing is, guys, once they've been sitting in a box for a year up against a magnet, they become, you know, magnetized. So they lose a spring, look around for metal, because they could sure be hanging on to a piece of it. That's what mine did. It's like I was actually walking around with it. That's kind of crazy, but anyway, we got the spring back. It's going on there now. Get this over with. So I have these all on there and lined up. Next trick is try to convince somebody to stop using flathead screws on these things. I think I can safely say we all hate flathead screws on these. Okay, so we got those both on there now. Now I'll tighten those up. Then I'll adjust them, and I still may have to take them back off again. I think they may be too long, you know? But I don't want to cut them short until I know for a positive fact that they are. And by too long, if you watch as I adjust this, you can see it. No, you can't. Hold on. As I adjust this, the spring starts to bow, kind of like a truss rod. And I don't want to bow into that black part there, that black tape. I want to rub up against it, I don't want to do anything. But this guy go in there much further to get that pickup to expose the top of the pickup. See how it's starting to bow like that? That's not good. And if you look at this, you need to be more equal here. If you look at this, I got a problem here. And I can see what this guy went through. So, before I force this and cause some damage to it, I'm going to stop completely, take this pickup out of there, and open up that route just the tiniest of bits with a shaved knife. It's just not wide enough. That's what the guy ran into, and he tried to force it, and I'm not going to do that. I've got at least the gift of second sight, or prior experience at least, in that's not the way to do it. And this is just way too tight. That route does not fit this pickup. It's too small in some space or some spot. So otherwise it'd go right through this opening just like greased butter. So, now that's done. Next step is to wire this puppy up with a new 5-way. Put the ground wire back down on it. Okie doke. Tighten these back up and screw those down. I'll put a new capacitor on here. That's what value this thing is. That capacitor on is a 222. So I ended up replacing that with the orange drop. Much better. Same value, but much better capacitor. Give it more true tone. Alright? It's very simple. It's just solder to one of the legs of the tone pot right back over to the ground spot. Alrighty. What I'm doing right at the moment is taking some old it's like trainer's tape off this, and what they've done, they've taken up the slack of some of the length of these pickups, and instead of cutting them, which is good. You know, that's the way you do it. Don't ever cut your pickup wires if you don't have to. Who knows where these could end up? You know, and people, when they trade them, and people trade pickups on these, like, you know, geez, all the time. They'll take the old ones off, try a new set, trade these to help pay for the new set. You don't want these cut short, because they're of no use to anyone. You see how long this has got to be to make that last little run, or that last little pot, in case that were the case. You know, if you needed it, it could reach it. See that? That's what you want to keep it, and that's why you want to keep it. Don't cut your pickup wires. Okay, so this is the way the guitar came to me. 131, 132, the arrow was pointing downward towards the big pickup. So everything's oriented back the way it was. And now my responsibility is to make this thing work. Get the humbucker working, get these pickups set up so you go 1, 2, 3, humbucker top, humbucker middle. That would be your 5 choices. That should be a pretty good choice. Okie dokie. Alrighty, so I went back and changed the 5-way back to traditional, having the spring on the outside. Alrighty. And the big difference between this Super and the regular 5-way is not just the extra number we're talking about. The way this thing works is pressure fitting. So there's pressure that holds this thing in place, and these little indentions here like that, right? These things wear out very quickly, and this becomes very loose after a period of time. It's back and forth, and there's really nothing to adjust it. You know, it's just going to sloppy. Well, on the good ones, on the ones that are made well, have a spring here, like you see that. And when it starts to wear, basically all you have to do is replace the spring. You know, order a new spring, put it on there. You don't have to spend 30 bucks to put a new 5-way on, just get a new spring put on there. Alright, what you're looking at is dry setup on these pickups, the 5-way switch, the pots. And the reason I'm recording this right now is because the wiring from this pickup, and the Seymour Duncan pickup, the hot wire goes to the leg on the 5-way that controls it on and off or switches it on with the others. But the problem being, and I know it's crazy, the wire is so thin that when I was twisting it before I was going to tin it, it started falling apart on me. Just the twisting action broke some of it, so thin. So it's a good thing I have plenty of wire. I mean, if you look, here it all is, all the extra. I'm not gonna cut that. I'm gonna pretty much make it fit inside here, like about like that. But I'm a little concerned about, even if I solder that up, if I push a little too hard, I might split that wire in two, even after I tinned it. It's like, damn. I don't see how you get anyone thinner than that. That's just crazy thin. Now these pickups, whoever made these, I'm not sure, those have decent kind of wire in them. It's, you know, good wire. It's tin copper, but man, at least there's some substance there. It's not just 3 strands where it falls apart. Oh, jeez. I mean, they've gotten so cheap, it's ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe they make pickups like this anymore. It's just embarrassing. You know, go back and tell your customer, oh, by the way, your pickup is falling apart because the wire in it's so thin. I can't, you know, solder because it'll melt, burn up. God almighty. Anyway. Alright, so I did a dry wire setup on this. Let's come loose again. Look at that. And I flipped the board over carefully, the pick guard, and then touched the pickups and flipped the 5-way switch. They're all working. Then all of a sudden, what happens? The humbucker stops working, the front pickup stops working. It's like, damn, what's just happened? And I just about fell out of myself, like, holy shit. I flipped it over. What's happened? They've come loose from the 5-way. So let's have them dry wired, right? No solder. And it kind of bothers me. Now, one thing that still bothers me, and is the only thing I could do anything about, is the actual wire that they're using now. You can see that? For these pickups. It is so thin. It's ridiculous. Right? It must be about 4 strands of aluminum there. I mean, it's 10 copper. I don't think it is, but maybe. It's so thin, and it's even thinner on some imports I've worked with, I swear to you. It's like, where is the wire? I can barely see it. Okay? I tinned one up that was an import, and I got my soldering iron too hot, and I burned the damn thing. I melted the wire and watched it just go right back into the plastic. What? So not only using much thinner wire to increase their profits, they're also using substandard wire on a bunch of these pickups, and we should start complaining about this, guys. You know, we're paying anywhere from gosh, $50 to $150 for these pickups, and they're going cheap on the wiring. The last thing they want to do is put, you know, hair thin wiring in here, guys. It just breaks, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You keep following the plastic back until you run out of wire. You know, it's like, damn. Of course, with this one, this particular pickup in humbucker, I made sure not to cut the wire on, not cut the pickup wire. What we'll do is zip tie this up right here, so keep it out of the way of everything, so it won't be bothered. But also this ground wire runs from it. Instead of trying to solder that into the back of the potentiometer right now, since there's so much high humidity, I'm going to use an existing wire that's already soldered to the back of the pot and just tie into it here, and then put some heat shrink over that before I finish the job up. But here's my biggest concern, and this is Seymour Duncan, guys. It's not cheap. That is the thinnest wire I've ever seen on Seymour Duncan, and it's 4 strands of, I hope, 10 copper. Unbelievable. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, to make this a little bit better tone, I'm going to get rid of that existing cap and put this other one in its place. I just noticed these aren't very good. And what I'll do is just take it off and put a new one on. Okay, so there it is. It's back in place again. All I got to do is solder it up. And I think my iron should be hot enough now to do it. Jeez, I had so low I could barely get it out of there. Just saw those up so they grab each other. And then of course I always go back and test it to make sure I got a good contact, good solder joint. No issues there. So that should do that. It's nice and shiny. I got a good solder joint. Got my tip. What a pain in the butt that was, just to put that on there, huh, guys? And it's on there solid. It's doing its job. Okay, so got an orange drop in place with a piece of junk. Back in position. That will improve its tone, I guarantee you. Okay, let's finish off these wires and get this thing done. I just cannot see the hole this thing is. Just, damn it. There it is. Okay, so I'll move this out of my way. I can see it much better. That's better. I want to capture this whole hole here, just like that. And just a little bit of that wire. There we go. Now I got it. That's going nowhere. Okay, so I'm not going to leave this wiring just hanging around out here. Alright? I think his last tech that really screwed this thing up did. And from all reports, he did because he's in too big of a hurry. Which is never good. Okay? And I think it's because they stalled him so long. That's why the guy got mad. He said, it's finished, it's finished. The guy shows up, pick it up, and it's not finished, nowhere near finished. Go back there and try to put it together again. Originally put together what he said was finished, or what he worked on. Okay, real quickly, what this had on originally were these tiny lock washers that were just flat to the body of the guitar and provided no lock whatsoever. So I went ahead and put these on there instead. I will give those other ones back to him, but I wouldn't recommend putting them on there because these are much better hanging there. Okay, so the next step is to very gently get his guitar's guts back inside there, okay? And not pull on any wiring, especially the, you know who, this one's pickup. And that's not going to be easy, okay? So the thing was not easy because the routing on this was really kind of too small for the job. And I shaved just a tiny enough off just to get it back in there, and it's pretty much why the other one got torn up. The route wasn't big enough. Now the trick is, get underneath here, get everything out of the way. Jeez, us. And slide it underneath that neck shot right there like that, so I have space to get these down in there. But never ever force this stuff. You can see it sitting up. It's got resistance. Okie dokie. So I gotta look and see what is resisting. Every one of the ground wires on there is being resisted. Okay, let's take it right back out again. Flip it over. And this particular pot needs to be turned a bit, okay, to get these wires out of the way. Does it make sense? Alright, now to do this, again I gotta be careful not pulling loose. Alright, oh boy, and it's a good thing I didn't tighten down on anything. Alrighty. Okay, so these have got to go over some this way in order for this to fit inside the body route. Well, first things first, I got to loosen up on this pot so I can do that twisting motion and get it out of the way like that. Just like that. Now tighten down on this baby. Otherwise, it's never going to go inside the cavity unless it's forced, and that's going to pull these wires loose, cause pressure on them, which we don't want to do. Okay. So far, it looks like it's going to fit in there pretty nicely like this. Let's take that a shot. See what happens. Well. Again, are we having trouble there? No. Not trouble there either. It wants to go down. It's clear. What's the hold up here? I see what the hold up is. That should provide enough room. Hold on, guys. Hi guys, Dan Tex here. What we got is a beautiful Fender guitar guys bought, and we're putting this very special pickup in the on the bridge, a humbucker. What do you think about the work we did?
I think it's pretty good. Should be good to go.
Okie dokie. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Randy Maynard. I'm 53 years old. Graduated high school in 1983, so at the height of the MTV, you know, heavy metal hair band and all that good stuff. So I've been a guitar music fan my whole life, fanatic really. Just about a year ago my kids moved out of the house. The last child went off to college, and my wife and I were talking and just kind of joking around, and next thing you know I owned a couple of guitars, and trying to make a fantasy, my lifelong fantasy of learning how to play. I just started about a year ago, so I'm not very good, But I love guitars, I love guitar music, I love just banging around, and I've been watching YouTube videos. I have no innate musical ability at all. I can't dance, I can't sing, I can't, I tap my foot and I'm not on the beat. So I'm really terrible, but you know what, I got a Floyd Rose on here, I can bang it and wham it around, it's really fun.
There you go.
And I just like to make noise. I wanted this Seymour Duncan on here to get the real heavy metal crunching.
Cool.
That's what Dave put in for me.
Alright, once let's hear it on clean channel first and see what it does, okay? Give it a shot. Okay, alright. I want you to do this. I want you to reach over there and put it on the Insane channel, or next to Insane. Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. That's pretty loud.
Let's try this.
Oh, not bad. All right. Hey, Randy. Okay. All right. Not bad, guy. Okay, Dave in Texas. Any questions, guys? Give me a holler. Say bye.
Bye.